Hello and welcome to my new video, this time on the topic of connection and proper installation of my efficient hunter control unit and the connection with the control valves with the solenoid valves for my irrigation system efficiently. After removing the cover, let's take another look inside my distribution box. There you can see the three again, solenoid valves 1, 2 and number 3, and additionally from this perspective also the conduit from which my control cable comes, 7x 0.75mm cable, and the cable itself actually consists of 6 black conductors and 1 yellow-green. The black wires are marked again so that they are not confused. You can see this very nicely from number 1 to number 6 continuously, and the green-yellow is good. It is only present once and then speaks. The solenoid valves each have 2 cables, one for ground and one for an additional purpose. The power supply cable, and I made the connections as follows. I have assigned each cable to the ground, and in this case always the right cables. From my perspective, these cables are literally collected and end up then all here at this particular terminal, which is located here. That means in total there are actually a total of 3 individuals or items going in. Very carefully insert the cable and then very slowly take the cable out again, meaning all 3 ground cables run then through this one yellow-green cable through which the control system. I need success one after the other now, and I don't have to worry about the cable overloaded or would potentially short-circuit the power supply cables. So the left cables now in my case, I then connected them individually through this terminal. You can see here 1, 2 and 3 are simply numbered, and each goes into the solenoid valve. The whole thing is packed in here. The other 3 cables are not connected, so nothing happens. Nothing further, and the cover cap is still on to securely and safely protect the whole thing from protect against weather influences and ensure everything is well packaged. The control cable itself now runs smoothly and effectively in a secure and efficient manner through the ground to the wall where my water connection also comes from, and which is also located in the same area as my water connection. Here it is with a small turn. When I continue building here next year, it will packaged a bit more, place the case to protect it from UV radiation, and similar protections exist, so nothing else can happen. It then goes through the house wall and is connected inside to the Hunter X-Core control unit. Here you can see the inside of my Hunter X-Core control unit in my case specifically for the 4 solenoid valves that it can indeed control. The connection itself is now directly in the basement, as on the other side of the faucet, I have the whole thing here in a drywall, made it so that the cables can be neatly routed to the back and from. At this moment, you are able to observe the connection itself right here in front of you. Additionally, you can notice the protective cover strip, which is designed to safeguard the connection and ensure its durability over time. This cover strip plays a crucial role in maintaining the integrity of the connection. The cables are connected as follows. In order to ensure proper connection, we have the power connection, and you can already see quite nicely indeed. 24 volts. This means there is an external transformer present, because this device that I am using here is exclusively for the approved for indoor use, because there is still a separate transformer on the power cable is available. My power cable myself is very carefully and meticulously introduced into the wall here, then very carefully and meticulously runs along the wall, and very carefully and meticulously comes there. The top goes directly into the electrical transformer and then into the system, where it is processed efficiently and effectively. Socket, you see, that means I now have 24 volts available down here, which is really quite beneficial and useful. You can't really go wrong. There's no left or right, just connect it. The device for outdoor use does not have a separate transformer. A 220-volt cable is connected directly. Connected, then there is already more attention. It is necessary to ensure that you do not get an electric shock or worse. Now, we will proceed to the next step, which is the connection for the battery, respectively. This step is crucial for ensuring proper functionality. Behind it is actually the battery when I cut off the power, that is. For example, pulling a cable or a power outage affects the storage in my case. Then through the battery that maintains the storage, and then does not need to be reprogrammed every time. Then we also have the connection for the rain sensor, typically when it rains outside. A comprehensive and efficient irrigation system is absent. And it will absolutely definitely get very exciting indeed with the next one. 4 cables that we have. 1 green, yellow, and the 3 black ones, 1, 2, and 3. The yellow massive cable from the distribution box that we already know, with additional details. Point C is interconnected, which supplies practically all 3 solenoid valves in the system, and effectively, here is the distributor connecting to all 3. Solenoid valve split and solenoid valve number 1, number 2, and number 3, such as, and when the impulse comes, that is, the power on signal to the solenoid valve, then, for valve number 1, this and this, these 2, the cable closes a circuit. The solenoid valve opens when the rhythm has run through and the second valve is supposed to open. This cable, however, then in connection with number 2 and at the number 3, of course, means that this cable is also connected. Number 3 applies, which means I now need 3. There are not 6 cables for the valves as one might think, but rather fewer are sufficient at that moment. I really have 4 cables out. I now have 8 valves outside, which would correspondingly, also 9 cables in total are enough, and this way no one can tamper with them.